When you say sleep good, what does that mean?
Sleeping good is sleep is the most underrated high performance tool that we have. You know, people think that they're sleeping well, but they're probably not. They're not maximizing.
How do we know?
Well, I use a ring or a strap that really
Klora?
monitors my sleep. Yeah, I wear an Oura ring.
Okay, I wear one. Tell me what readings I'm looking for.
Well, when you get up in the morning, do you look at your readings?
Yes.
And do you look at your deep sleep and your REM sleep?
Yeah. I mean, I look at it all, but
Okay.
I don't know what it means.
Exactly.
Usually I only get like an hour and some change of deep sleep.
Yeah. Well, you should be getting more.
Yeah, I'd have to look up my graph. I can look them up when we're done with this.
Yeah, and that's my whole premise. People are buying these tools, but they don't really know what they're reading. So
But it's not up to me. When you go to sleep, you're not sitting there going, I think I'm going to get a little less deep sleep tonight.
It is up to you.
How do you do it?
You have to optimize for sleep. So we have 4 stages of sleep. The first stage is when we're falling asleep. Stage 2 is light sleep. So during stage 2, you can be easily woken. Stage 3 is deep sleep. And stage 4 is REM sleep. So the 2 most important stages is deep sleep and REM sleep. And they're the things that you'll see on your Oura ring. Now, many things happen during these 2 stages. Deep sleep, we secrete all of our hormones. Are you looking up your...
I'm going to pull them up so I can follow along.
Yeah. You can tell me your scores as well, and we can do a live analysis.
It says no Oura ring yet. Again, new phone, so maybe it's like my records aren't there for some reason. But
so
I can remember kind of what they say.
Yeah. So first thing you want to look at when you open that is you want to look at total sleep time.
Well, that's where I struggle a little bit.
And this is probably why your scores are not at where they are.
Yeah, my total sleep time is usually 5 hours to 6 hours.
That hurts me.
But I can't do anything about it.
You can.
What?
See, this is my thing. You could be performing, I kid you not, 30% better than what you are. And I've watched you avidly over the last 4 years. For those of you watching and listening, Brad and I actually met 4 years ago. He doesn't remember, which is odd. Most men remember meeting me. I do remember.
I was on your podcast.
You were on my podcast in 2018.
That's crazy.
You were around 30,000 followers back then.
Wow.
Yeah. And you told me, you said, Louisa, I'm going to have one of the biggest business podcasts and one day I'll interview you.
Dang.
And you stuck to your words. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, if you could, I've been watching you for so long. You speak about money. You speak about performing better. I guarantee you could be performing. Well, tell me, much better.
And people can pick up while you're telling me how to do it, how to do it for themselves. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of people out there that don't sleep much.
Yeah.
But I mean, people say, or at least I thought to myself, maybe if I, work out more, I'll be more tired. But I worked out. I mean, I work out probably more than most now. I used to not, but I'm working out a lot. I still sleep 5-6 hours. And when I go to bed, it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I hit the pillow and boom, I'm out pretty quick. And then I wake up at 5, sometimes 3:30. Sometimes I get 3 hours of sleep. But when I wake up, I've trained my brain to be extremely grateful. And so when I wake up and realize that I get another day, I get excited. Like I wake up, I don't wake up groggy. I wake up and go, oh my God, I get another one. So now I get to, now that kind of excites me. So now I say, what do I got to do today? What do I get to do? So I jump out of bed and I'm excited and, I start doing my routines. So it's like, I can't stay asleep. I've tried. What
would it mean for you if you were producing 30% better results?
It would mean a ton.
It would mean a ton. And that's what you can do from sleep. And so,
but how do I do it? I would love to do it. I want to sleep 8 hours like I used to.
But are you waking up because the alarm or just because you're waking? Okay. So
I don't set alarms.
Okay. So first thing that we need to do is we need to get your sleep to around 8 hours. So that means going to bed at a reasonable time. And I usually say at Neuro Athletics, lights out is 10 p.m.
Lights out?
Yeah, you need to be asleep by 10 p.m.
That's crazy. My little kids aren't even asleep by 10 p.m.
Well, you got to get them to sleep by 10 p.m. Your brain develops, especially as kids, through sleep. So let's go back to the stages. We spoke about deep sleep, and you're able to see deep sleep on your monitor. Deep sleep is where you produce all of your hormones. For you, it's most of your testosterone is produced during deep sleep. For women, it's estrogen. You also get growth hormones. So when you're at the gym, you're lifting weights, your muscles are breaking apart. They're going to be regenerating and repairing during deep sleep. So they're the two important things that happen. Another thing that happens is we activate this system called the lymphatic system. You've probably heard of the lymphatic system in your body, right? Mm-hmm. It's where it clears out a lot of the waste products. We have one in our brain, and it gets activated during deep sleep. And what that does is it removes all of the toxins and the debris that build up during the day. One of those toxins is called amyloid beta. When this molecule or this protein accumulates over time, this is one of the biomarkers of Alzheimer's disease. So that's scary. So we need to be flushing out our brain every night. It happens during deep sleep. The next part of it is REM sleep. It stands for rapid eye movement sleep. And this is where all of our memory consolidation happens. And in fact, this is a really important one for all the gentlemen out there. This is where emotional first aid is built. So if you wake up and you've got a short fuse and you think that you're going to be angry or say something that you shouldn't be, you're more prone to say that if you haven't had good sleep. So generally speaking, you need around 20% of your total sleep time in REM sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can see that on your Oura ring. You can see a percentage.
Well, I haven't worn it in a month because it doesn't really mean anything to me, and nothing could change. And it's like I didn't have any control. Now I would wear it again if you told me some things to do, and then I'm like, oh, look, it's working. Yeah. So I'll wear it again, but tell me what to do to get more deep sleep, to get more REM sleep. First
thing is you need to eliminate alcohol.
I don't drink.
Oh, wonderful. So alcohol dramatically kicks you out of deep sleep and REM sleep. It's like a sedative. So it kicks you out of it.
So that's not the problem.
So you're not smoking, you're not drinking, you're not taking any drugs.
Nothing.
That's fantastic. Second thing is...
Isn't that crazy?
I love that. But I don't, in my field, that's normal.
I mean, usually, I always either smoked cigars or chewed Nicorette or, drank alcohol. Because it's not like I don't drink. I just haven't for like a year. Actually, I have. I had the other night on my anniversary a glass of 1942 Over the Rocks. Okay. Sipped it, and I'm like, I don't even know why I did that. So now, in my mind, I ain't drinking at all. But on the norm, I'm not drinking. So no alcohol.
Light exposure. You are getting light.
I got windows all over my house.
But even at night, when it's dark outside, you've got the lights on, obviously to see, because you're not going to sleep till around 11:30.
True.
So any form of light exposure signals to a little area in the brain that says, I'm awake. So it produces cortisol. That's our stress hormone, which is there to keep us awake. And essentially.
So should we dim the lights at night?
Dim the lights as much as you can. Some people like wearing these blue light blocking glasses. And now I'm, put a caveat on that. They are not the be all and end all. They may help you in some aspect, but dimming the lights is probably the best thing.
Okay, we have dimmers on every light in the house. So basically at night, we want to lower it down to be almost like it starts to adjust the mind, the brain.
Correct.
Cool.
Are you doing any mentally draining activities at night, or are you just watching TV?
Depends.
So are you emailing because
I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm emailing, I'm doing it all.
Is that a game?
Call of Duty is a game, yeah.
Okay. Is that a game that kids play?
No, it's a game that, my kids play it and other kids play it, but it's an army game where you run around and shoot people.
Okay. Well, that could cause some type of mental distress. But look, you don't want to be doing something that's mentally heavy at night because your brain is just going to be firing. You want to be really, really setting yourself up for a good sleep.
So it sounds like if I increase my productivity by 30%, by decreasing my productivity by 50%, I'm still at a net loss of 20%.
But why would you be decreasing?
Well, you just said, don't be thinking about anything at night. Well, shit, that's when I do a lot of my things.
Is that making you money?
Well, I don't always play Call of Duty, but my phone rings and I'm answering emails.
Yeah.
So I can't necessarily.
Let's just keep going with this. Okay. So even if you sleep 2 hours earlier than what you are now. Well, let's say 10 p.m.
But I believe if I go to sleep at 10 p.m., I'll still stay awake till 11:30 or 12. I've tried it. It's like, I'll go to bed at 9 tonight, and I just lay there till about midnight.
Okay, but this could be because your mind is not settled. And one of the two biggest complaints when people have sleep problems is I have trouble falling asleep or I have trouble staying asleep. You don't have trouble really staying asleep. It's more so falling asleep, I guarantee. So
yeah, I mean, my 5-6 hours is solid.
Yeah.
I don't wake up for nothing. My wife's like, babe, you couldn't hear this, you couldn't hear that. Like,
you may want to supplement with something called GABA. GABA. It stands for gamma aminobutyric acid. It's our chief inhibitory neurotransmitter. So it settles our mind down and it inhibits like our mind from activating per se. So this may settle you down and may be able to get you to sleep. Also, we have this neurotransmitter called dopamine. It's our motivation molecule. It gets released in response to when you've achieved a goal. And it basically sets us on a path to keep achieving goals. And there is a little area in the brain where it gets released from. You block that area if you have light exposure from the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. So if you're getting light in your eyes at around 11 p.m. at night, you're blocking the amount of dopamine that can be secreted. So this is why I'm saying you give yourself a head start by getting to bed before 11 p.m.
So 9:30 is ideal.
9:30, I say get into bed because it might take you half an hour to fall asleep. So in terms of a nighttime supplement routine, and this is, you have to practice this with caution. Generally what I like to do is have GABA and have, I don't go near melatonin.
I was about to ask, what about that?
Melatonin is a hormone. Now, it's a naturally secreting hormone. It already gets secreted in response to darkness. So when it's pitch black, your brain starts releasing melatonin.
Isn't that weird how miraculous the body is?
It's unbelievable. When you really understand the brain, this is why I do what I do.
I know, but it's unbelievable. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, our brain is designed evolutionarily just to make us survive. So evolutionarily, our brain isn't meant to survive past the age of 40 because it says reproduction's done. And the fact that we are now surviving past 40 and thriving, that's why we need to be looking after ourselves. And sleep is one of the best ways to thrive. Your brain is always in thrive mode or in damage control.
Well, everything you've told me so far,
we're still going.
Dim light at night, I can do that. Like, I can control that. Stop thinking about work and shit. I can't do that.
Let's keep going with the supplement routine. There's so we've got the GABA. We're staying away from melatonin. Okay, which is a good thing. And then we're having magnesium L-threonate. So there's 3 forms of magnesium. This one is able to penetrate the brain and nervous system.
We're having magnesium
L-threonate.
Like L3?
Threonate. L-threonate. When I have magnesium L-threonate, this just knocks me out and I go into a deep sleep.
Sometimes when I take melatonin, I have vivid, almost nightmares. Yeah. Why is that?
Well, when you have melatonin, you're basically telling your pituitary gland, this is where it's the pineal gland, I should say, not the pituitary, it's where it's secreted from naturally. Okay. You're telling it to over secrete it. And generally what happens is people do have these night terrors, or what happens is they produce so much melatonin in overdrive and then they wake up 3 or 4 hours later because the pineal gland's like, okay, she's already got all this melatonin, I'm going to stop producing it and therefore I'm going to wake up. So these vivid dreams occur during REM sleep. You want to try and stay away from that. In these vivid dreams, are you punching anybody by any chance? And acting them out? Okay, good.
Why?
Because you can pick up on early Parkinson's disease from something called REM behavior disorder, which is where you act out your dreams violently.
So if you're dreaming about beating,
and if you are screaming and you're punching someone, and it may be indicative of REM behavior disorder.
Yeah, but what that means is I'm heading for Parkinson's?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. more often than not. Obviously, Parkinsonism, which are the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, they occur 20 years before you actually get diagnosed. And one of them is REM behavior disorder. Then there's also tremors and other things involved. So don't get scared if you are, having these vivid dreams. But
I would be.
Yeah.
'Cause that means if you're having these vivid dreams where someone's asking you, you're more than likely going to get Parkinson's.
And when you're actually up and you're going, and you're actually asleep.
And there's nothing anyone can do about that. There's no cure for that.
Well, but there are, if the earlier the diagnosis, the better your chances are at the progression. Alzheimer's disease is a whole different ballgame, and which is why we want you to be sleeping. So
sometimes it seems like I used to be able to, let's just say, because I just did it again, sometimes I'm looking for a word that's not there anymore. Before I used to have a freaking command of the English language. I could use words out of the blue. I could speak quickly and I was sharper, I feel.
Yeah, word fluency. Another big thing that is diminished during sleep deprivation. So sleep deprivation, just so you know, is classified as 6 hours or less. So you are sleep deprived chronically.
Clinically.
Chronically sleep deprived.
Chronically or clinically?
Well, both.
How much do you sleep?
I try and sleep 8 hours,
How many do you sleep?
7 hours and 50 minutes.
What if someone sleeps 9 hours, 10 hours?
Beautiful.
That's even better?
I mean, it's not better, but it doesn't matter. You don't, it's if that's what your body needs. LeBron is sleeping 12 hours.
Well, again, when you say if that's what your body needs, see, that's what I do is I think if my body needed more, it would stay sleeping.
Not necessarily.
Why wouldn't it?
Because
body's pretty smart.
The body's smart, the brain's smarter.
Yeah, so the brain would be like, dude, you need more sleep. I'm going to keep you asleep.
Unfortunately, there are different pathologies that may keep us up. Even lack of sleep is probably going to just train your brain to only sleep that much. And let me tell you, I'm not sure how old you are and you don't have to say it, but
54.
54. Wow.
I'll be 54 on the 27th of January.
Happy birthday. Capricorn?
Aquarius.
So when you are chronically sleep deprived, you're building up these toxins, like I said, but you're doing a whole host of things in the interim. That's the long-term effects, which is leading to neurodegeneration. Short-term effects are it interferes with your prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex sits just here behind your forehead, and it's responsible for our executive functions. They call it the CEO of the brain. Thinking, processing speed, reaction time. You just said word fluency. You can't pick up on words. That is a sure sign that you need to be sleeping more.
Well, I want to repair that.
And how about memory?
Memory? I think I have selective memory. Because I can remember things from a long time ago, but I don't remember things sometimes from a month ago. Like people say a lot, Brad, remember when you did this and said that? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't remember being on your podcast. I kind of do. I mean, I remember you. And I remember, I think, doing your podcast a long time ago, but I wouldn't bet on it. But that's because, I have selective memory. Like, in other words, if I want to remember, I do.
Yeah. Another thing that happens at the age of 30, our brain begins to atrophy, which is scary. Everything goes downhill.
Well, I just had a brain scan.
What type?
I'd have to say CT. I don't know.
What did you do it for?
Well, I always do what we call an executive physical.
Okay. I
have a organization called Blind Spot Medical that does scans that most people normally don't do, just to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what type of brain scan it was. I mean, a CT, it could have been an MRI, could have been EEG.
Well, I did get an MRI for sure.
Did you put a cap on your head with leads coming out of it?
Nope.
Okay, then it wasn't an EEG.
But they saw my brain. It was an MRI where, I went into the big machine.
Okay, yeah, an MRI.
But, they showed me my brain and they said, your brain size, believe it or not, is great for your age, which I'm like, they're like, your brain shrinks when you get older.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no kidding. And they're like, yeah, but your volume is still there. It's, it's great. They said. I said, cool. So there was nothing supposedly, because I don't have brain doctors looking at the scans, just, but it seemed to be okay. But they said specifically, my brain's full volume.
That's amazing, because your brain does atrophy as you get older. It loses gray matter. we have gray matter and white matter. Now, the gray matter is on the cortex, on the outside of it, and the white matter is on the inside. And this is where all of our processing speed occurs. And both of them shear away as we get older through lifestyle factors, but just due to the natural brain aging process. So that's why we need to be sleeping, eating well, and exercising, especially. Like I'm a huge proponent of what I do is exercise.
Where do I go take all these tests if I were to hire you to like be my coach?
Yeah. And this is what I do for our portfolio managers. I have a hospital grade EEG. So I actually have an EEG, which tests the functionality of your brain. So that's
Where
great.
at though? Where do I got to go?
I come to you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you bring it with you today?
I didn't.
Damn.
I know. Could you imagine if I did? We don't even have time for that.
But it takes a while?
It takes around 40 minutes.
Well, I'm going to hire you after this. We'll figure it out where I want to get you to have me increase my productivity because it would be worth whatever you charge. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I'm not cheap either.
30% though. I guarantee you don't cost me 30% of my income.
But so this is the reason why you want to do this. You want to be picking up on areas of dysfunction. If I can say, look, your brain in this part of the brain is not working at its peak, let's get it to working at 100%. It actually looks at word fluency. We look at reaction time and we do a full visual acuity test. So we're going to test how well your eyes are seeing a stimulus, responding to your brain, what that stimulus is. We'll pick up on the time frame of what it's doing and we'll speed that up. We'll do that through sleep optimization. And you'll have to put your Oura ring back on. Yeah, because of that.
Well, do you do all these tests?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to have you do them.
We're going to do them again.
Yeah, we'll do them again.
And then Gary and I will get together and we'll talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lot of blood. Now, one thing that I'm looking at right now.
Oh, and that's another thing they said. My blood was a little thick.
Okay.
He said I should bloodlet. And I'm like, and then I had another doctor say, oh, that's stupid. See, this is the problem with doctors.
Yeah.
They don't all agree.
No
so
one
who
does.
the hell is correct and who's full of shit? And who's and by the way, who taught you this shit? Well, somebody else that read some shit. So it's like, how do we know any of this is even legit?
Yeah.
Maybe 5 hours of sleep is good.
Well, the general consensus, and when you actually do a peer-reviewed search on PubMed, you look at the most highest quality articles that have been produced.
They say sleep is good.
Sleep is, yeah.
Well, I would love to have more sleep. I do very well on the sleep that I get. But
what if you got an hour more? Would you still do very well?
But you know what is funny is lately I've been noticing that during the day, sometimes I'll be at my desk and I'll think, let me check Instagram to answer, because I answer all my own DMs, believe it or not. People freak out like, dude, I can't believe this is you. It's like that. I'm not that. People think I'm like Brad Pitt. I'm like, dude, I'm Brad Lee, not Brad Pitt. Like, dude, I'm in my DMs.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll just answer them. I answer them throughout the day, in the morning, at night. And the other day I was, and a couple of times I've caught myself now just nodding off to where I'm thinking, damn, I need to get some better sleep.
Is that around 2 p.m.? You don't nod off at around 2 p.m.?
I'd have to think, but seems so.
Yeah.
But what I need to do, Louisa, is dim the lights at night.
Yep. I
need to kind of lay low a little bit mentally at night, which I can do that. And I need to take, what was it?
The GABA, yep. And the magnesium L-threonate.
And the magnesium L-threonate.
Here's probably the biggest one for you, because you look like a built man. Are you a hot sleeper?
No.
Okay, well, that's good, because temperature control is one of the biggest things that kicks us out of sleep. So in order to fall asleep and stay asleep, our core body temperature needs to drop 2 degrees. Now, you can do this by adjusting the air conditioning in your room.
To where it's low? To where it's low
and cold, but that's ambient.
Mine's at 71.
You can bring it down to maybe 69, but that's ambient temperature. So I have all of my athletes, and by the way, when I say athletes, I'm talking everyone. I treat everyone like an athlete. I have them on a temperature-controlled mattress.
So if I hire you and you're my doc, now I'm an athlete too?
You're an athlete. Of course
Sweet.
you are.
Sweet.
You treat your body like an athlete.